Welcome to the deep dive. Today our mission is really looking at how to achieve guaranteed uniform improvement across a completely diverse group of people.
Right, which is, a lot harder than it sounds.
Oh, absolutely. And we're going to be exploring this through the lens of elite sports science. Because, if you've ever wondered why, like the exact same workout or study routine works wonders for your friend but does absolutely nothing for you.
Yeah, just totally falls flat.
Exactly, it falls flat. Well, this deep dive is going to explain exactly why that happens and, more importantly, how to fix it.
Yeah, and the source material for this is it's a really fascinating 2024 study.
From the Journal of Sports Science and Medicine, right?
Yep, exactly. It's titled Optimal Prescription for Superior Outcomes. And basically, the researchers took 30 well-trained young basketball players. These guys are, averaging around 16 years old.
They're pretty competitive young athletes.
Highly competitive, yeah.
Yeah.
And they tracked how their bodies adapted to two very, very different types of training over a 6-week period.
Okay, let's unpack this. Because the setup of this experiment is, it's really the core of the whole thing.
Right.
So they took these 30 athletes and split them into 3 groups of 10, basically to add extra conditioning onto their normal routine.
And group 1 was assigned to what they call small-sided games, or SSG.
Which is basically just playing 3-on-3 basketball, right?
Yeah, exactly. Playing 3-on-3 for 3 sets of 5 minutes. They were doing this on both full and half courts.
Right. And then group 2 was put through short sprint interval training, or SSIT.
Yeah, the sprint group.
And this was like 3 sets of 12 5-second all-out sprints with 20 seconds of recovery in between each one.
Right. And then finally you have group 3, the control group, who, just did their normal tactical basketball drills, nothing extra.
So just to clarify for the listener, why these 2 specific methods? Why 3-on-3 versus these crazy short sprints?
Well, SSG is incredibly popular in modern coaching because of this idea of training specificity.
Okay, meaning what exactly?
Meaning it mimics the exact mechanical stress, the decision-making, the technical requirements of an actual real game.
Right. You're actually playing the sport to get in shape for the sport.
Exactly. But SADT, on the other hand, the sprints, it's a highly controlled grind.
Just running back and forth.
Yeah. But sprints in a real basketball game, they usually only last 2 to 6 seconds anyway.
Oh, wow. I wouldn't have guessed it was that short.
Yeah, so making these bursts exactly 5 seconds makes them highly specialized for the sport's actual energy demands.
It kind of reminds me of learning a new language.
Oh, so?
Like group 1, the small-sided games, it's like dropping yourself into a foreign country and just, talking to the locals.
Right, yeah.
It's dynamic, it's real world, totally unpredictable. But group 2, the sprints, that's like locking yourself in a room and doing intense vocabulary flashcards for 5 seconds at a time.
Oh, that's a great way to look at it. Just a controlled, isolated, grueling grind.
Exactly. So naturally the question is, which one actually worked better?
Well, if you look at the top-level data.
Yeah, the averages.
Right. Both SSG and SSIT significantly improved the group's cardiorespiratory fitness.
Like their VO2 max and stuff.
Exactly. VO2 max went up, and their biomotor abilities, like jump height and power output, those went up too, compared to the control group.
So on paper, both look like a total success.
Yeah, on paper. But what's fascinating here is that looking at the mean group values hides a massive secret.
Which is?
Individual variability. Just because a group's average goes up, it doesn't mean every individual in that group actually improved.
Wait, so you're saying a workout program can be a total success for the team, but like a complete failure for the individual player?
100%. In sports science, we talk about responders and non-responders.
Okay, so some bodies just don't respond to the stress.
Yeah, you could do the exact same workout as the guy next to you, and he gets fitter, and you get absolutely nothing out of it.
Yeah. Wow, okay. So we need to look at exactly who didn't respond to this training, because the data for the small-sided games, the 3-on-3, it's kind of shocking.
Really is.
Despite being the most game-like practice, the SSG group had a massive rate of non-responders. Like 40% of the SSG players didn't improve their VO2 max at all.
Yeah, 40%, that's huge.
And a whopping 60% were non-responders for oxygen pulse and their first ventilatory threshold, the VT1.
Right, and those are critical markers for aerobic engine building.
So why did the games fail so many individual players?
Because a basketball game is a dynamic, unpredictable system.
Right.
So the external load, which is, the time on the clock, the rules of the
It's
drill.
the same for everybody.
Exactly, it's the same.
Right.
But the internal load, which is how hard the body is actually working,
Right.
their heart rate, that varies wildly from player to player.
Oh, I get it. It's exactly like a group project in school.
Yes, perfect analogy.
Like, the group gets an A on the presentation,
Right.
but one kid did all the heavy lifting and was pushed to their absolute limit.
Sweating over the keyboard at 2 a.m.
Yeah. While another kid just stood in the corner during the presentation, barely breaking a sweat, and literally learned nothing.
Exactly. The dynamic nature of a 3-on-3 game allows some players to hide.
Hide. Like, on purpose.
Sometimes on purpose, sometimes just by the nature of the game flow. They might exert less effort because the ball doesn't come their way, or maybe they're just super highly skilled.
Oh, so if they have high basketball IQ, they take shortcuts.
Right. They anticipate plays so they don't have to sprint as hard as a less skilled player who's just frantically chasing the ball.
So the skill actually becomes a crutch that stops them from getting a cardio workout.
Exactly. The game environment allows them to just kind of cruise.
Wow. Okay, so now that we know unpredictable games leave some players behind, how did the highly controlled sprint intervals perform in comparison?
The SSC group, it's night and day.
Yeah, looking at the data, it's a stark contrast. In the SIC group, there were almost 0% non-responders across the board.
None.
For VCHO2 max, O2 pulse, linear speed, like the study showed SIT created significantly lower residuals in the percent changes.
Meaning the adaptations were just much more uniform.
So it was homogenized across every single athlete, regardless of their starting profile or skill level.
Right. And if we connect this to the bigger picture, it really highlights the physiological beauty of an all-out effort.
What do you mean by that?
Well, when a coach prescribes all-out 5-second sprints, they don't need to mathematically calculate each player's individual VCHO2 max.
Because everyone's max is different.
Right. They don't have to monitor individual heart rate zones to ensure everyone is getting the same stimulus.
Okay, because all out just inherently scales to 100% of that individual's personal physiological ceiling.
Precisely. If my max speed is faster than yours, I'll run further in 5 seconds.
Right.
But internally, we are both hitting our absolute 100% capacity. The stress is perfectly equalized.
So what does this all mean for the listener?
Well, if you are trying to guarantee results for yourself or, maybe a team you lead, relying on flow or unpredictable environments might just leave you stagnant.
Right. If you just rely on the day-to-day grind to naturally make you better, you might just be hiding in the corner of that group project.
Exactly. Sometimes you need a controlled maximum capacity constraint to force biological or mental adaptation. You have to remove the places to hide.
Man, that is so true. But, okay, hearing all this, it sounds like sprints are just the undisputed champion, right?
It does sound like that.
Like we should just throw out the basketballs and run in straight lines all day.
But you definitely shouldn't.
Right. Here's where it gets really interesting, because there was one critical metric where the small-sided games absolutely destroyed the sprint intervals.
Yep. Change of direction. She AD'd.
Yeah, the SSG group saw a significantly greater decrease in their change of direction time.
Meaning they got much faster at it.
Right, compared to the SIC group, who basically didn't improve there at all.
And this raises an important question about what makes up actual functional athleticism.
Because linear sprinting only trains you to go straight.
Exactly. In a sprint, you're just firing the same muscles in a straight line.
Yeah.
But in SSG, the 3-on-3 game, players are constantly shuffling.
Right, backpedaling, cutting left and right.
Yeah, and physiologically, this forces rapid transitions between eccentric and concentric muscle actions, specifically in the leg extensors.
Okay, the eccentric phase is when the muscle is lengthening under tension, right? Like absorbing the force of a sudden stop.
Exactly. It's like a break, and then it has to immediately transition to concentric, shortening to explode in a new direction.
And sprinting just doesn't do that.
No. The chaos of the game trains the precise neuromuscular firing rates needed for real-world agility. A straight sprint simply cannot replicate that chaos.
So it's a trade-off.
A massive one.
SST is the superior tool for building a consistent team-wide engine like cardio and linear power, while SSG is a superior tool for building sport-specific agility and actual technical skill.
You absolutely need both. A perfect program has to have both.
Which really wraps this whole thing up perfectly. The core findings from this study in the Journal of Sports Science and Medicine are super clear. predictable, all-out intervals like SSIT, standardize internal loads, and literally eliminate non-responders for aerobic and power metrics.
Because there's nowhere to hide.
Exactly. But unpredictable games, like SSG, are essential for the dynamic agility of changing direction.
Yeah, you have to have the chaos to build the agility. And honestly, I'd ask everyone listening to think about the biggest goal you are currently pursuing in your life right now.
Oh, that's a good question.
Are you treating it like a small-sided game?
Yeah.
Relying on the unpredictable, dynamic flow of your day to hopefully make progress.
Which means you're risking becoming a non-responder because you're finding ways to hide.
Exactly. Or has you engineered short sprint intervals, highly controlled all-out efforts, where you're forced to hit your personal ceiling? To truly become elite, your routine must demand both the chaos of the game and the equalizing grind of the sprint.
That is such a great way to look at it. Thank you to everyone listening for joining this deep dive. I highly encourage you to take a hard look at your own external and internal loads. Until next time.